Hello everyone, I'm Dos. I'm gonna be doing the casting and the backstage for today's event. I have a lot on my hands because I have to control I lost all my scenes this afternoon, so we're gonna see how everything goes. This is mostly practice for tomorrow's event, so don't expect any like super stellar casting. It's mostly just gonna be narrating the game, especially since I'm alone. There's no one to back and forth between, so sorry if there's a lot of dead air between the, I guess, the observations. So yeah, we're waiting for table 1 or the feature table, and then we'll just get that match straightened up for you.
Wait, the victory reveal is wait. I'm playing against Cake, no? Wait. Wait, I think I'm blind. Where's it? Oh, it's at the very bottom. Oh, I didn't see where the table was. Okay. Fast slime.
Looks like the players are at their tables. I'm just waiting for them to finish setting up. Okay. Looks like we're good. Timer is on. Turn off the music for now. Okay, so it looks like it's all good. Everything's set up. Everything is in place. Players are seeing who goes first. Looks like Merlin is going first. I lost all my filters on my microphone. Okay, so it should be better now. No, it really shouldn't. Nice gate is too aggressive. I gain 30 gain, a little more. Like that. So that should be good. Okay, so it looks like we see Merlin doing the classic Witch into Cremate, which is just a really good turn 1 Merlin play. Gives you a lot of cards, and the card is broken. This thing. I knew you were broken. Let's fix you real quick. Okay. There you go. So Slime also going for a basic, I guess a very classic Slime play, just Baby Gray turn 1. Players just cycling through their decks. Both of these are level 3 decks, so the other game is somewhat inconsequential. It's probably worse for Merlin because Slimes can put a lot of pressure with stuff like Baby Red and just small pokes from these Gray Slimes. And you don't really trade well into their... I mean, they don't really want to trade into your floating memory, right? Because they're just feeding you cards. Or resources, I guess. Okay, so Slime's hard leveling. Oh no, he's... Yeah, Merlin hard leveling. Okay, I gotta lock it into this game. Sort of Seeking, clears out the slime. I mean, maybe you probably don't want that because it's just feeding value in the future. And they can always just escape the wreckage of their slime. Yeah, exactly. It's just gonna escape the wreckage of slime for basically free value. It's just gonna get another use of it, it's gonna draw a card into memory. It's a very strong card. Then Flame Root Swordsman and Library Witch. Looks like Merlin is gonna be start playing the aggressor. Slimes burns the cremation ritual. In this matchup, you kind of have to be aggressive against Slimes, but Merlin does it not famous for their early game aggression, because since they want these allies with good on-death triggers, they end up having less than ideal stat lines for playing aggro. And there's a baby Grey Slime again. Clash attack with baby Grey. That's interesting. I mean, you really have no risk early game, so you can just keep your... You don't really need an interceptor on field, so maybe fighting for the board is the right play. There's no clean trade into this baby Grey either. He has to play another ally, so it should be fine. Goes for GCR, pops it, so we're gonna see a little bit of a off turn here. Modern player thinking. Attacks with Honorable Vanguard. And is that another escape? This you just gotta feel really bad in this situation. Like this baby Grey isn't even intercepting it, already ate 2 attacks. There's another Library Witch, so yeah. It's like Merlin's hand was a little bit slow. So he goes for backup charger, throws 1. This influence is crazy. Every time I look at influence this high, I remember like in the very early games of this game, very early days of this game, where like having 5 cards in hand was considered having a high influence. And now you just have like these decks just trivially reach 9, 10 cards in hand. And the same baby Grey for the 3rd time probably. Showing the same limitless slime for also the 3rd time. Stalwart too. So yeah, influence is really high. Looks like the slime player didn't really have a very aggressive hand. This is a really odd game because normally both these decks... Okay, Merlin takes another off turn. It's interesting because you normally see this matchup going a lot faster. It looks like both players are playing it more conservatively. Merlin recollects. Slime player is holding his hand like, I have another Escape the Wreckage here. Do you want to try again? See a hard pass? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we see a hard pass. This is a really awkward situation for Merlin because you don't really have a floating memory to go to level 2, and you really don't want to go level like hard level 2. You want to floating memory into your level 2 so you can DG into your level 3, and then you can eat something with the level 3, so both players kind of just end up playing a staring contest here. Sylvie now has level up advantage, which could be relevant because, or is extremely relevant, I should say. Because Merlin isn't the best at dealing with all the ultimate element slimes. Looks like Merlin going for Creative Shock in beginning of Recon. So you want to discard. Discards an okay, this this is really unfortunate for the Merlin player. It's not really the matchup where you want to see 3 library witches, especially if you're not gonna be. Oh, Sparkle Light. Okay, looks like he's trying to deny the Sylvie trigger. This is gonna be the third Escape the Wreckage on his Creative Shock. He's going Slime Eruption, that's really good. And then Escape the Wreckage. Okay, that was a really bad turn for Merlin. Sparkle Light, a really good card, but especially in this matchup, because you can use it to kill a lot of slimes before they get their buff counters. But as you can see, Slime has so many tools just to deal with this spot removal. Could even just Slime shielded it. It's very hard to navigate this matchup. Dungeon Guy is going to 3. Rolls a 1. Pitches a Stored Shieldmate and a Limitless Slime. Goes to Sylvie 3. And plays an Ethereal immediately. This is going to be really hard for Merlin to handle. Not only is it's a huge body with stealth, so I mean, he needs to draw a sweep basically to handle this, and even then, he might not even meet the damage requirements to get rid of this slime. Attacking for 1 with Dungeon Guide, intercepting with the Witch. The Witch is getting value. He's probably gonna play another slime to clear another Witch. Ooh. That is a super shiny card that I can't actually see what it is. Oh, it's probably Cremation Ritual, right? Since he's putting DG in grave. Yeah, exactly. Cremation Ritual. So yeah, now it's just time to find another thing to hit over the other witch, and then Crux Slime gets in for 5. Okay. Okay. I mean, if Marlon has a hard time dealing with one of these, it's not gonna be any easier to deal with too. Ethereal Slime gets chumped by the Library Witch, and then the second Ethereal Slime gets in, 5 damage. And Sylvie passes turn. I mean, it's just that simple. Just checking how many floating memory has in his grave to eat with Marlin 2. Takes away a Flame Rune. Let's see his hand as well. It's a 5. It's a Hasty. And the hand must have been really bad if Hasty wasn't really doing it. Rico's. Goes to draw. Putting a card down. He's probably looking at us, thinking of casting that card and looking over his hand to see what he's gonna use to pay for it. The Dungeon Guide, not much of a surprise there. I mean, then you just eat something in response, get your Merlin 3. Let's see if he remembers. Looks like he might have forgotten. Maybe he wants to sweep the board, actually. So that's why he's not eating anything. Swinging in for 1. Swinging for another one into the Stalwart. Stalwart's dead. Slime player now has 2 floating memory in his grave. And here's an Ascension. Both players have a ton of cards in grave. In memory, I should say. It's probably very hard that this Ascension doesn't get full value. So there's 2... Oh, wait, but it's Fire Slimes, obviously. So to draw in a fire, the draw is really probably the most important part of Ascension. Because you really want your Ascensions to keep going +1, or to go neutral, I guess. Okay, he's looking at his hand. Yeah, the hand is not super ideal. Blissful Calling is probably the best card in his hand currently. That's 2 more escape. He drew 4 escape the wreckage this game. Favorable wins. That's kind of The wins is interesting. Shows that he got really lucky with the Dungeon Guide banishes. Crux Sight, probably returning Ascension. Yeah, paying 2 to return Ascension. And this is why you really need the water card in your grave, because it significantly reduces the cost of this loop. Shows a result stand and another Ascension. Just do it again. Deal 3. And now you're probably getting smacked in the face with the Prismatic Edge as well. But I guess I have perfect information about. I mean, both players now have somewhat perfect information about each other's hands. The Resolute stand in hand is kind of scary, but Storm Slime obviously just gets over that. Losing Incarnate Majesty could be relevant if he only runs one. It's super relevant. But yeah, I mean, Slime's okay. Interesting. Runs Grand Crusader's Ring, no Quicksilver. Okay, so you notice the hand from Slimes is not really ideal. Probably want a Blissful Calling for something better. But looks like he has another advanced. Oh, I mean, it looks like he has another advanced element slime in his hand. Pitching 3 for turbocharge. Okay, that's really good. Ramping 1. Counting the slimes, it looks like it's 4, so Storm Slime is not super strong right now. Seems like he has enough to activate Guy's Blessing. Oh, increasing danger. This is a really awkward card to play in the late game. I don't know. For some reason I never like playing this card in the late game. It probably is less impactful when you're playing it late game because giving your opponent a +1 is probably kind of whatever. But I don't know. Late game it just feels like they can draw into so many bombs, especially against Merlin. You're giving them a hand. If they crack a fireball from your increasing danger, and you're just crying. Okay, here's a Lustrous. There's no Quicksilver, so this Lustrous is a lot less scary. It's still gonna be enormous. Okay, so that's huge. That's what, a 610 Lustrous? It looks like that's his whole turn. Yeah, but I mean, Merlin's probably gonna have to take her whole turn as well to get rid of this Lustrous. Looks like we see no recollection shenanigans from Merlin. I mean, yeah, obvious alternative is just you just play over it, right? Just fireball your opponent directly. He doesn't have QSG Covenant, so can't really protect himself from you just ignoring the losses and hitting face with your fireballs. Okay, Crux sighting for another prismatic Spiritblade Ascension. Probably just gonna do the whole prismatic loop again. Yeah. Showing favorable wind, spirit, potion infusion seal, and hasty again. It's the exact same cards. Sylvie showing also basically the exact same cards. The hand is very light on late game cards. He does have two Blissful Calling though. Okay, looks like the trigger is going on the Lustrous Slime, so he's probably just gonna beat over it. Yeah, it's I don't know. The prismatic looping is so weird against slimes. Like in a way you're keeping their influence down, but you're also powering up their next storm slime. And you know the fire slimes player has two blissful callings in his hand, so I mean it feels like at any point of the game, okay, here's another ascension. Just do it again. Feels like at any point of the game, if he just finds a couple storm slimes, this game could really slip away. Shooting a stalwart. Eating an increasing danger. No, wait, eating a slime eruption. A hasty. Not the most relevant. Looks like he's also having trouble finding his pendragons. Okay, hasty swings into the lustrous slime. Discards a floating memory. Slime now at 7 damage. You stick 3 more. Crux sight. Okay, now just do it again. And this Ascension kill trigger is probably just gonna kill the lustrous too. Yeah, so lustrous down, slime player heals to full HP. Now the other things can start getting in. Yeah, so 0 life balance, I guess. Healed to full, went back to 2. Merlin has a fire. Oh, he does run 2 Incarnate Majesty, so that's really good. Fireball in memory, couple of flame runes. So the hand isn't that bad. Next turn you can probably just jam out a Incarnate Majesty or just Fireball. He's gonna hit more Prismatic as well for extra damage. Okay, Slime player is gonna Eruption for Stone Scale. That's pretty smart. Just gonna pitch all of his, yeah, slimes away. This is deep digging for a Storm Slime. It looks like he has 1 in hand too. Oh, I mean, with the Stone Scale nerf, you don't have enough. Yeah, with the Stone Scale, if this was old Stone Scale, you could have just played that Storm Slime pre-Rico. But now I think he was just 1 card off from doing it. Okay, he's gonna activate Gaia's Blessing as well. So this is a really strong Storm Slime. Showing Creative Shock on top. Okay, so that card is kind of stalled up there. Oh, wow, that's no, that is a lot of slime cards. You are not living the Storm Slime. Okay, so yeah, just okay. So basically, it was just another one of those games against Sylvie where we pretended to play a game for a couple of turns. Yeah. I know that's not a. I mean, that's gotta really feel bad, right? So Fire Sylvie takes game 1 of the match. Just the double storm for a lot of damage. Looks like every storm was hitting for 12, so yeah, that was, I mean, there's really nothing you could have done there. At that point, even if you had a Majestic Spirit out, probably just Storm Slime the Majestic Spirit once, and then you go face and play the other Storm Slime. I don't know, man. It's another game, yet another day playing against Slimes, I guess. The Prismatic Loops also didn't really, I mean, if this was any other deck, the amount of Prismatic Loops he got would have been stupidly unfair. But against Slimes, I mean, end of the day, you're always risking just building up their win corner more. Because every slime that you banish from your win trigger, it's just giving them more damage, and then something like this happens where storm slimes are just so big they just ignore whatever you're doing. And then you're like, what are you gonna do against that? How are you gonna tank a 12 damage on enter trigger? Okay, so players unsiding. Looks like Merlin's going first. Let's see if he has the God Opener again. Oh no, just a hasty. Is he gonna cremate it? Probably not, right? But I mean, why would you play hasty? Feels super bad to play a hasty if you're not gonna cremate it. Okay, just a hasty and pass. Sylvie playing a spirit, drawing their 8. So it's a stalwart. So again, both decks playing a slower game, which I mean Merlin can still be explosive, I guess. But Slime is definitely favored if you're gonna be playing slower game. Okay, it's just a stalwart pass, that's perfectly fine. Into a backup charger. Yeah, this again a very slow paced game. Makes a power cell, draws a card, and recollects. We didn't see any sweeps last game from Merlin, so maybe it could just be pure Merlin and not hybrid. Which I think in my opinion just makes this matchup even harder. Discarding a favorable wind, probably has too many off-color cards in hand. Flame Run. That's fair. That's pretty good right now. It's a pretty bad. I mean, very likely drew into it, which is bad because you would have loved to get the 1 damage in, but it is what it is. Cremates the Flame Runas afterwards as well. So that's pretty good. Like this cremation. This cremation play gets super. It loses a lot of its value once you're later into the game because it's very costly, both in terms of especially in terms of cards in your hand. So it's very good to get it out right now. Plus drawing more cards, maybe he gets to cremate the hasty as well next turn. Because I mean, you kind of want to save your cremation rituals to get rid of Covenant, but I mean, unless they Covenant your Majestic Spirit, which you can just Pendragon back, I mean, you don't really need Cremation Ritual that much. The card kind of breaks a little bit in the early game. Okay, so Sylvie leveling up. Playing a red slime. Which is gonna get a buff counter. Red slime, not super good against Merlin. They don't really make that wide of a board for you to benefit from the board wipe, and it takes a long time before you can attack with it. But I guess it's pretty good that he just basically always has this panic button now, where you can just cremate the red slime and explode the board for free. Okay, and slime passes. I guess the benefit is also that Merlin really doesn't want to hit your red slime because I mean it's not a positive trade for them. Because it's already level 1, using the favorable winds. Like slime has 3 cards in hand, which I mean I guess you don't really want to escape the wreckage your red slime, so There's not really much you can do in this situation. Probably just pitch a Slime Eruption at best. Attack with Hasty, discard Resolute Stance, so either the hand is really good or really bad. Yeah, it seems like no one has taken any damage yet. I mean, the only allies we've seen this match is Stalwart and Baby Red Slime. Oh, I guess that's first blood on the board as you say that. Both players are playing a super slow game, taking it really, really chill with their materializations. Looks like counting cards in hand and passing. Classic. Activating backup charger. Drawing a card, going +1. Then drawing another card. Backup charger, a insanely good card, obvious, as we've seen. It's almost insane to think that this card was two euros on pre-release. Like considering the price now is and into a turbocharge, so this is just Ramp City. How do you are you looking at a deck that is level 1 drawing 4 cards basically? This is just crazy. The pacing of like the pace that this game has gotten recently is just it's insane. Next turn he's gonna double draw again because he has a beast on the field. If he plays an animal, he's gonna get another 2 draws. So this, yeah, another draw, another draw. So yeah, this is a not the best spot for Merlin. Showing a Crux and Slime Eruption. And into a Stalwart. So yeah, your haste isn't even getting in for damage now. It's going to Merlin. This is like a really, I don't know, it feels like a really bad matchup for Merlin. I think the best you can do is probably get to level 3 early so you can get your level counters. But, I mean, yes, I guess. Your win con just stacks so much slower than Slime's though. Power cells should also be awake, I guess, but it's probably irrelevant in this case because Merlin probably doesn't run a turbocharge. This card's an incarnate match. Okay, this Merlin hand must be like horrendous. No, I'm feeling one of those Merlin hands where you just look at your hand, you have 6 Crux cards, and you're like, okay. I guess I just have to try and play with this. And against Slimes, you really can't afford to have these bad hands. Looks like he's attacking with Sword of Seeking to clear off the last damage on Stalwart. Oh no, he's eating the Limitless Slime. Yeah, that makes more sense. Plays a Dungeon Guide. Pitches a Blanchy and a Ghost of Pendragon, it seems. These are insanely bad things to pitch away. Both these cards are super premium now that you're level 3. I guess it's safe to assume that Merlin's hand is very late game heavy because if you're gonna bench those cards, like you need to have duplicates. I mean, for sure he has duplicates of them in his hand, right? Attacking with Dungeon Guide for less tick of damage. And playing a Ghost of Pendragon, yeah. Returning Sword of Seeking. Slime player is playing Fire Slime, so you can't even respond with a Baby Green to fizzle the on-enter. Ghost's very likely going face now. Looks like he's thinking. Into the red. Oh, okay. Huh. Is that the play? I'm not sure if that's the play. He went +1 from it. So it's a very. I guess let's see if it pays off. I mean, next turn the slime player's probably just gonna cremation. His fire is a red slime away anyway. Pitching slime eruption to level up. Yeah, that doesn't feel good at all. I guess he denied the Sylvie trigger. So playing a limitless. Looks like it doesn't have a dungeon guide, so. Huh. Maybe he's just gonna make another big board, but I think we're at the point where Merlin just wins board. Another stalwart. Yeah, he had a cremation in hand as well. So it's kind of like an illusion of choice play. Like you don't explore the board. They just cremation. They just draw two, and actually no, it would have been a lot of value if they don't cremate the board. If you don't explode the board with Pendragon, they will draw on two from the on-enter trigger, and then they're gonna draw two from the cremation ritual. Not that you just gotta get the ramp in check. Get Sword of Seeking into play. Probably symbolizing he has another Pendragon in his hand. Looks like he's gonna start Ascension looping. Yep. Fire and Wind. Sylvie has two Crux Slimes, King Slime. I wonder if he sided that in for this matchup. It's Grenade, King Slime goes bye-bye. And Stalwart eats the damage. Important to note this is being done pre-recollection, so that Fireball is going to end up in his hand. Crux type paying 2 to get Ascension back and doing it again. Oh, he's getting Ghost of Pendragon back. Or I guess he's considering getting Ghost back. It's a hard choice. I think Ghost might be a better card right now. Correct side goes to banishment as part of resolution, and then he ascensions again. Sylvie loses a Crux slime, so another 2 slimes for the slime count, which is really not ideal. Because I mean, but it looks like half his hand, more than half his hand was slime cards. So Crux side doing it Do you get the Pendragon now? Yeah, it feels like at this point the Pendragon is... I mean, it feels like Ascension is just doing more harm than good. Pendragon away the Prismatic Edge to draw 2 cards. And he's responding to it with an Ascension. It's good. That's pretty good. Has again Wind and Fire. Let's see if he banishes another slime card. A 1, it's a Blissful Calling. That's a lot better than banishing a slime card. Blissful Callings are also a lot better at converting themselves into Storm Slimes. So you kind of do want to get rid of those early. Pendragon enters, draws 2, and hits you in the face. Can't tell how many cards we didn't see from Merlin, but the hand really wasn't very ideal. You don't really have a lot of protection from Slime's shenanigans. Looks like 5 Slimes in banishment. Sylvie 3. Instantly into a Crux Slime. This card notoriously fights very well over the board. He's getting rid of the pause. The pause is basically useless in this matchup. Looks like he's thinking of responding to the on-enter. Yeah, but I mean, he could, but I guess he could. No, Sparklight is 3 damage, I believe. You have to fireball it because of the Sylvie extra counters. Oh, he is gonna fireball it. Or is he fireballing face? It would be weird to fireball it now after he got the draw off. Oh no, but he always gets the draw off, I guess, because I think they're separate effects. Yeah, fireballing the... Okay, but... I mean, that's a fireball gone from your hand. Let's see if Slime Swines. We might have a judge call. Okay, find a Storm Slime from the Blissful Calling. That just hits you in the face with the Storm Slime. Oh, I guess he trades into the Pendragon and then hits you with the Storm Slime. Okay, he's vanishing for Storm Slime. For the on-death trigger with the cremation ratio, this play feels so strong. Like, this is one of the most unfair plays in the game, right? You just kill your own Storm Slime, you build your win con by 2, and then you draw 4 cards. Like, you just drew a whole new hand. Let's see if I can see what's going on. It looks like we're having a bit of an issue with the judge call on the featured table. Or maybe not. I think it's just the judges are just worried about the future judge calls because the feature table is full. True, because time is coming up as well. Oh wait. Oh wait. Actually, I might have a fix. Yeah. I mean, guys, sorry for all this logistics problem in the back, because we're trying to get things perfect before tomorrow. But back to the game. Looks like Merlin played an Incarnate Majesty to get a Majestic Spirit. It's a very good play, obviously, against Slimes. He's gonna have to commit a lot of resources to get rid of this Majestic Spirit. Elaborate Witch. Okay, it's gonna hit you with Majestic Spirit. Majestic Spirit restands, so just a free attack every turn. And then you have this. Oh, oh, he's gonna cremate his Majestic Spirit because it has a Covenant of Thorns on it. Can he kill him? It feels very early to be doing this. I know. What I've heard from other slime players that normally you don't really mind that they have a Majestic Spirit, or that they have a Covenant of Thorns on your Majestic Spirit. Like, you just keep it on the board and clear their board, because at worst, you're gonna force them to Storm Slime it, because they can't Storm Slime in your face. They also can't really hit your champion. Okay, Guy's Blessing. Let's see if Slimes can finish the game here. Into Storm Slime for a lot of damage. Well, the stream quality is kind of weird. Maybe it's just on my side. It looks a little bit not the highest possible quality. You'll have to work that out. Okay, so Creative Shocking in response to the Storm Slime trigger. Oh, yeah, because he wants the Blanchy. Oh, and that eats the full Storm Slime trigger. Okay, and then he's attacking to the Interceptor? Okay, looks like time is here. Looks like there's a 5-minute overtime. So let's set that real quick. Going for Drone Blade, casting Fireball pre-Rico. Classic Merlin play. It deals 9 damage, and then surely has just anything to deal with the extra damage. It's another fireball, it's an ascension, yeah, this is just lethal. So it looks like we see a 1-1, which due to the time is not going to be able to be, we're not going to be able to finalize this match. So these players are tied for round 1. Let's see what other score turns up in the next rounds. So obviously Slimes versus Merlin, not a very good matchup for Merlin. It was significantly better after sideboard because you have Balanchi, which basically just shuts off Storm Slime. They have to beat over it if they want to get rid of the effect. There's just not much you can do with it, and it's very hard to play around. Very, very hard to play around because you don't really run any like burn damage or fast speed removal for Blanchy. So you're just, I mean, it looks like the players are playing their overtime. I mean, they have 3 minutes to finish a set. I mean, I mean, Slimes is good, but I didn't see it finishing a game that fast. Or I hope it can't finish the games that fast. It looks like we have a thing. Looks like the timers were off. Let me see. Pairings. Oh yeah, yeah. Timers were 5 minutes off, so this is still a game, I guess. It's not overtime. That's my bad. We're trying a new way to display timers. So, I mean, it's good that we find this bug, or I guess somewhat of a bug right now before we do it tomorrow live. Okay, so Baby Gray into Stalwart. As both players playing extremely fast now that they have 5 minutes to do this set. To another Baby Gray. So Slime player just zooming here, draws a card, probably is gonna just hit into the Stalwart. I mean, I don't see them. I don't see these players finishing this in turns. Maybe just both players just want to turtle up now. Yeah, it looks like slime player passed to a backup charger. Yeah, I don't think any of these players is playing to win right now. Probably just playing for time. Merlin surely cannot win in 1 minute 10 turns. It plays another stalwart, so yeah, this is a. They're both players are building a fort basically. I mean, I don't think either of them is gonna kill the other, but I guess you never know. I'm just going. Wow, that's a super fast DG. I wonder if I wonder if he thinks he can actually finish this game in turns. Oh, it does Storm Slime. Actually, 3 damage on Merlin. 6 damage on Merlin. Or is it? Is it 9? I'm gonna say it's 9. Okay, goes to Lorraine 1, so he doesn't get scammed by anything. Only needs to take 11 damage to lose the game, so it is losable. And I believe turns was called during the Merlin player's turns. This is his last turn. Slime still has another turn, I believe. So I guess let's see if Slimes can truly finish the game in 2 minutes and turns. Okay, clears the Storm Slime. I mean, kinda has to, because if he doesn't kill the Storm Slime, it's 3 free damage, so he only needs to take 8 more damage. Is that a Crux Slime that he has with the dice on? The glare is really high. How did oh, guys, I'm gonna be honest, I tuned away from this game for like a second to go try and fix something in the background, and Slimes just has a Crux Slime, a Storm Slime, and 2 baby gray slimes on the field. How did this happen? This game was 2 minutes long. This is final turn. Looks like it's gonna pre-reco escape the wreckage. To draw a card, he's looking for it. I mean, Storm Slime is bad right now. Another 1 damage from Dungeon Guide. Let's see what he has. I mean, the slime count is kind of irrelevant because he has a Blanche on the field. Another Crux Slime, that's really good. It's gonna hit you for 3. So is that 18? Oh, he has a repro, okay. He's still gonna be at 17, so you can just play the Storm Slime actually just to hit him in the face. Slime player thinking hard. This is 3 damage basically to lose the game, to win the match. Has an eruption in his hand, but it does nothing either because Blanche is stopping it. And looks like he passes, and turns are called. Oh, wait. Yeah, seems like it. Yeah, okay. I mean, wait, we still almost saw Slimes win a game in literally 2 minutes and turns. If that doesn't tell you everything about this deck, I don't know what does. I thought we were just pretending to play a match, but then suddenly we're actually playing a match. Okay, so I think we'll take a 5-minute intermission right now. I need to fix some things in the back end too. So that's it. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so looks like we have players making my life extremely easy. It's just Fire Merlin against Fire Slimes again. Let's get the timer going. And there we go. So yeah, we're just gonna see, I guess, a repeat of last time. Merlin also winning the coin flips. Creative Shock turn 1. Let's see if this Merlin playing is playing hybrid though, or just pure Merlin as well. Discarding a Chilling Touch. Into a Scry Discards. Nice. It's fair turn. Interestingly, we're seeing this Merlin player use Chilling Touch instead of Potion Infusion, which could mean that they're on Retold Fortune. Like, I mean, maybe actually just because Tristan isn't really that relevant anymore, so you don't really have to run the bad floating memory cards. Just for that one-off interaction. Okay. We saw a Slime player hard passing into Merlin level up, so maybe we're not going to be seeing a repeat of the last set. Into Flame Rune Swordsman. Yep. First edition of Flame Rune Swordsman. And going in for First Blood. For a Creative Shock. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty standard turn. Probably gonna see Sylvie go for backup charger. Because, I mean, if you hard pass turn 1, your hand is maybe not ideal. Okay, just hard levels up. That should be fine, maybe. If he has a couple of baby reds in his hand, you can just start cycling his hand as well. 2 for, yeah, there's a baby red. We're gonna get a look into a couple of cards from this Slime player's hand. It's got another baby red, so that's 4 damage. It's going at the... Oh man, it feels so bad when you can't do the 4 damage face, because, I mean, it's just a baby Gildas. Merlin goes to level up. Yeah, that... Merlin in a really pretty good spot right now. Two for the hasty, maybe? Yep, okay, this feels like a scripted match. Hits on attack trigger notably resolves before damage. Discards a Cremation Ritual with that amazing SP2 art. Into another hasty. Let's get this art on screen. This is an incredible art for this card. Discards an Ascension. Okay, so discarding Cremation Ritual and Ascension means this hand is maybe bonkers. Because, like, these are valuable cards right now that you're pitching away. Slime player going for a backup charger, drawing 1 into memory. Making a Pokemon Lightning Energy. This is the Sungo Special Power Cell. Two for a... Okay, so, I mean, it's looking like he drew 4 baby reds from this opening hand. Discarding Illustrious. And passing turn. Okay, so doesn't look like the best scenario for the Slime player, but as we mentioned in the previous round, Slimes is a deck that handles pretty well games going along. You have a stacking win con just like Merlin, so you don't mind just sitting here passing turns and growing your influence. Merlin paying 2. 3 for a Creative Shock. Notably has class bonus now, so it's gonna be killing that baby red slime. Yep. Discards a floating memory too, so that's a huge value Creative Shock. Hitting with hasty as well. Let's see what he's gonna pitch. Another Ascension. That's fair. I think that this Marlin player realizes that Ascension might not be the way in this matchup, so he's not valuing them as much as the previous player. The Ascension loops were really strong in the last game, but against Slimes, I mean, you always have that feeling that you're not getting... Oh, a Gentle. Huh. That's an interesting card to be running, considering he's running normal Fire Spirit. Gentle Respite, a card that has floating memory and that gives you a draw, replaces itself if you're lower on influence compared to your opponent. So it's essentially almost like a catch-up card, but what people normally do is they play a Fragmented Spirit so they can purposely start on low influence and have the +1 guaranteed, or the soft +1 guaranteed from Gentle Respite. Sylvie goes to 2. Pays 3 for a Dungeon Guide, so going immediately to level 3. Playing immediately a Croc Slime. Yeah, I mean, what's Merlin gonna do about it? Discarding Pause, again, not a super relevant card in this matchup. Merlin doesn't really use Stealth, or again, double Croc Slime, that's really good. It's getting rid of a Verdant Scepter, which also isn't super relevant in this matchup. You want your allies to be on board, so okay, does he also have a Gaia's Blessing? Okay, this turn was just this was just completely unfair from Sylvie turn. Wow. Imagine going to 4 influence and then you still do a turn like this. That's crazy. It has a Slime Eruption on the top, which is stuck there. And take 6. Super strong turn. A huge upset from the Slime player. Again, the Gentle might indicate that it's not hybrid, which means it's not running Flame Sweeps, we assume. So this board is going to be really hard to deal with. Let's see what he chooses to do. It looks like he might have enough floating to... Okay, can go to level 3 for 1. Lose a Blanchy. Blanchy main deck is... I think it's a pretty good call, considering this matchup. This meta, I should say. Slimes is the matchup to beat. Blanchy is extremely good into Slimes. So there's really no reason to... I mean, if you're just going to be siding it in every single game, might as well just main deck it. I guess Merlin player is thinking. Oh. Need to do the damage totals, that's my bad. There we go. Playing a Ghost, always good. Especially when you know your opponent can't really do anything about it. Slimes doesn't really run, yeah, it has stealth, you can't really hit it. But as I was saying, Slimes doesn't really run Reduce to Ash, or yeah, Reduce to Ash, so they don't really have any way to stop your Ghosts. So it's basically guaranteed value. This Ghost kind of has to hit face now, which kind of sucks. You're staring at a really, really beefy board. See Merlin playing Thinking, probably going face. Yeah, it's not much choice here. Let's see what the follow-up is. Looks like a fireball on the big slime. That's fair. I mean, obviously it's gonna feel horrible for Merlin, but I mean, you kind of have to do it. You're gonna be taking a lot of damage if you don't do it. Crux Sight. An enhanced Crux Sight to get back Spirit Blade Ascension. So we know what's happening on the pre-recollection step of next turn. Passes over to Slimes. So not the strongest turn from Merlin, but I mean the Slimes turn was so strong. What Slime materializes a Quicksilver Grail too. I mean, it's a really hard turn to match. Like, you went from 4 influence to putting 2 Crux Slimes on the field into a Guy's Blessing, and now you have a Quicksilver Grail, which basically means you can't really get one shot. It was looking really good for Merlin, but now it's looking a little bit less good. Okay, and he's gonna turbocharge, cycling his hand. Has a reveal, Stalwart, Limitless. So that's good for Merlin. He knows that the cards that the Slimes player drew were not really that relevant, and that the next card is also not really the most relevant card. I mean, you might actually just end up just casting this Limitless Slime from top of your deck and just hitting it so it starts getting big. It's just another threat. Yeah, I mean, and into a storm. Yeah, I mean, now this play looks ridiculously strong. Oh, it was a stone scale. Oh, actually, that's really good. Oh, so now you're also getting storm slimes. Okay, sends 1. That's fine. As long as he still has 3 allies in memory, it should be perfectly fine. Oh, looks like he's only discarding 1 to draw that storm slime. So I wonder if the I mean, it's not like the storm slime is gonna go anywhere in the top of your deck, right? And 13 with the last hit. I'm still thinking about this stone scale. Think about what the reasoning was to use stone scale right then. Well, then player goes for Sword of Seeking, just free food for Pendragon. Taking his time, thinking about his plays. I mean, you know he doesn't have a Covenant of Thorns at this point, so the coast is somewhat clear. Okay, going for an Ascension. Getting Prismatic Edge. Slime player reveals Storm Slime, so he has 2 Storm Slimes. Oh, okay, I guess that was the reasoning why. So there's Wind and Fire from the Merlin player. If it hits the Storm Slime, it's pretty good. And you never want to banish Slimes unless you're banishing Storm Slimes. 1. And it's a Creative Shock. That's also pretty fine. At least you didn't hit a Slime, so you reduce the influence without increasing the damage. Oh, Merlin runs Innervate Fury main deck. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if that's good. Seems kind of weird. It's really good, obviously, when your hero has when your champion has a on-enter. But with Merlin, I guess your on-enter triggers before your recollection, so you kind of have an on-enter. Oh, Flame Sweep. Huh. So he does run it. Flame Sweep with Prismatic is a lot of damage. 6 damage to the whole board, so it ended up being a really good turn for the Merlin player. I mean, at most you're getting hit with with a Storm Slime next turn, but you minimize the double Storm Slime and you clear the board. It's really good. And he dealt a ton of damage face as well. Slime player at 18 right now. It's a big upside for Merlin. And he has 5 cards in hand, so he could just also be hiding a sneaky Fireball in there. Oh, Slime player taking it slow, plays a Baby Gray. Throws an Eruption into a Blissful Calling. So the top of the deck is stuck right now. So this game might be slipping away from the Slime player's hands. Let's see. Going to 14 damage. Yeah, it kinda has to do it now. With the Stone Skill nerf, you can't really save your cards to Storm Slime. Well, this is a lot of damage, actually. Oh, does he have a Blanchy? Yeah, double Blanchy main deck. So let's see, through Blanchy, this end up... Oh, he changes the target to Blanchy? Is it on Resolution for Storm Slime? The target's on Enter. Maybe did the Blanchy soak up all the damage? Man, that's a really good card. Back to Sword of Seeking, and now he's basically just dead to any burn spell from Merlin. It's him for 3. Yep, 21. You just have to deal 4 damage in literally any way you can. It's not hard for Merlin to deal 4 damage at all. Swings with Merlin for 1 damage. Now you can just basically spam out your allies and almost edit. Yeah, just a Pendragon for a game. Yep. Very good showing from Merlin. The Flame Sweep upset was really good, especially after the double Ethereal Slime turn. That turn felt super unfair. Merlin takes game 1 then. Players go to side and shuffle up. I wonder what this Merlin has on the side, because if you're running main deck Blanchy, like, well, do you even run anything else to... Maybe you run 2 more Blanchies? That's main deck Blanchy, Innervate Fury. It almost feels like the deck is pre-sideboarded. But yeah, super strong showing from Merlin against Slimes. It's a... Especially Fire Slimes, which is I mean, obviously the more aggressive version of the deck. You think they would give Merlin more troubles, but maybe not having access to baby green slime and stuff like that actually hinders your deck. Baby green slime stopping the ramping from Pendragons would be really good. Not sure. Maybe gather slimes would also maybe be good, just for the passive recovery. Okay, so looks like players are done. I think we got a sneak peek of a reduced to ash. in the Merlin's deck, which I mean could be interesting. You can reduce dash the Quicksilver in response to the on enter to essentially deny it. I mean, I wonder if that was cited in. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Okay. Looks like the plays are done. Slime choosing to go first. Puts in his proxy Spirit of Fire and draws 7 cards. Let's see if the opener is stronger from Slimes. It's easy to forget that Slimes had a really weak early game in the previous game. Yeah. So we see, I think for the 4th time, at least the 4th time today, a Baby Gray Slime revealing 2 Limitless Slimes into a pass. So still not the best, not the worst, though. Let's see how Merlin opens. I think that's, I don't know, that's the shuffle of someone that didn't... Oh, it's a hasty, actually opened well. I just got a floating card. Yep. It's a good opener from Marlin. Anytime you see Hasty Message or you see like your Cremation plus a 2-drop early game, that Flame Rune Swordsman to put under pressure. Yeah, that's a really good opener from Marlin. Yeah, from Marlin. You got your Annoying Beater, the pressuring life totals, you got your card filtering engine. Did he cast Repro? Okay. Maybe a slight misplay because he could have just reproed the Flame Rune Swordsman in response to the attack. To Blissful Calling. But yeah, I know fast cards are always they're always somewhat hard to play with. You know you want to cast it this turn, but then your brain just programs you to like, oh, just cast it at end step because you really need it. Then you forget you can actually use it for value. There's a baby red. Discarding a Limitless, so another Floating Memory. Oh, whoops, that's a baby blue. There you go. Trades into the Flame Rune Swordsman. Merlin players slaps their Sword of Seeking onto the board. Pitch the Flame Rune Swordsman. I wonder if what you banish for level up is going to be more relevant in the next set, because we see a lot of things that care about fire cards in... Oh yeah, he's gonna change it up. I mean, it's a like micro... Yeah. It's a very micro optimization, banishing your norm cards before you start banishing your fire cards, I mean. But let's see if it becomes more relevant next set. Yeah, I also always forget to repro... when you have these fast floating spells, you always forget that they're actually doing something. Even with fast gear, sometimes it's just like, okay, this is a 2-cost, put a fast floating in my grave. So Merlin player goes another hasty, discarding a Crux Sight into a Scry Disguise. So choosing to discard the... I mean, unless you drew the Sky Disguise from the hasty trigger, it's a little bit awkward to discard the Crux Sight. It is a very good card in the late game. Backup Charter for Sylvie. Into Recollect. Ooh, Slime's player. It's like a turbocharge and pass. Again, not quite the best.
Pass here. Discarding a flame sweep. Yeah, I mean, you can't really be giving Merlin this much time to breathe. It's just a really volatile deck. If it gets level 3 and starts stacking level counters, it's just so... It's gonna be so hard to come back. Let me fix the life totals real quick. There we go. Into an Honorable Vanguard. Even Honorable Vanguard is getting into the, the fun, basically. It's poking for 1 every turn. Like, it is a clock, obviously. It's taking 3 damage every turn. It is relevant. You don't always have to burst your opponent out. Instead, Creative Shock. Discarding a Dungeon Guide. Oh. Ooh. I'm very curious about what this slime player's hand looks like. Looks like this ping with 1, banishing the other one. Middle one, it's another Dungeon Guide. Oh, okay. So if he only had 2, that might have been really punishing. Because maybe he discarded the Dungeon Guide thinking, okay, I have another one in my hand. But then your second Dungeon Guide just got a hand ripped. Oof, that might have... I don't know, from the way he's spacing his turn, it looks like it might have just ruined this whole turn. Oh, into hard pass. Yeah, oh, that was a... We call that the American Sniper special. You just hand rip the perfect card to ruin your opponent's whole turn. So yeah, now we're seeing the... It's like we're watching the complete opposite of last game. Merlin's just dominating the game, actually abusing the fact that he's getting this much time to play. Discards a floating memory for first hasty. Discards another floating memory. Okay, this Merlin, this is borderline goldfishing at this point. He's gonna Dungeon Guide too. Oh, spoiler. Spoiler, there's a Blanche in my hand. Creative Shocks, draws 2, pitches 1. It's getting rid of a third floating memory, so next turn he could just hard level up. Doesn't even have to Dungeon Guide to lose influence. So honestly, might just be the play. Yeah, hard pass. Into Aria, the same reprogram misplay. Might not. I mean, it might not be a misplay. Maybe he's holding another card that he wants to cast, and he's just being reactive with it. But his influence is so high, it feels like it does feel like it's a misplay. Ethereal Slime off the rip. Getting rid of a Burden Scepter. Again, not the most relevant card in this matchup. Paying 2 for a Storm Slime. But let's see how much damage this is dealing. Oh, he's gonna Banshee he's gonna Banshee in the Banshee that we knew he had in his hand. So, I mean, if you're the slime player, I guess you're just kind of looking at this board without knowing what to do. Let's see if he has a slime eruption. Slime eruption would go insane here. You kill the Banshee, you stack up your storm slime. All he needs is a 2 slime cards in his grave, right? It doesn't have to be. Has to be. He can do unlimited fire ones, or looks like maybe he's calling a judge. Oh, looks like we're having a bit of a couple of Whoops. Let's see, it looks like we're having a couple of technical difficulties with the player's setups, or maybe not. I guess I just turned this camera off for a second to put 5 Storm Slime in his hand. Looks like it is a Blanchy question. Funny enough, it looks like the exact same question was asked in 2 different matches. Well, it's incredible how the exact same interaction just happened in 2 different matches in the server. Maybe Blanche is the meta savior. I mean, she is a saint, right? She's the shepherdess from the slimes. So I'm taking a couple damage. Blanche tanking a ton of damage here, and back to Merlin's turn. So pre-Rico Fireball, it seems. It's 14 damage. This is 8 damage off lethal. Should be, I mean, 3 damage on board as well. So he's at 17, which is 6, 7? No. 17 is 3 plus 4. It is 7 damage. No, he's currently 10, 11 damage off lethal. 7 with the onboard damage. Three. He's playing a Ascension. Oh, this is also pre-Rico, I believe. Yeah, it's looking like it just might be over, actually. And then he sparks light for lethal. That's it, that's game. Marlon takes the set. So yeah, we just saw basically a complete opposite of last game. It's pretty impressive. I mean, Slime player, to be fair, did have some really not ideal draws. The early game was very weak, or significantly weak in both games. And then we see Blanchy in both games just completely carrying Merlin. Maybe this is just the way. Main decking Blanchy to counter this slime nonsense. Seems pretty good. We didn't really see the Innervate Fury be relevant in this matchup. It's probably very good against allies, but not really right here. Let's go to an intermission while we wait for the next round. Fix the timer for you guys real quick. should be like this. And there we go. Now we have a big brick, so guess go take a coffee or drink some tea. See you guys in a sec.
how it could be. Often thinking that you could be the love I need.
We have the next match ready. Just setting up a graphic for the end. Let's see. So it looks like we have another Fire Merlin. Or I guess the same Fire Merlin, I should say. Against something that I still don't know yet. I'll get you that. Guess I'll build this in real time. I don't like building these in real time, but I guess it has to be in this case. 200 and Jixie. Which seems to be... Oh, saucy. Ooh, nice. This is gonna be a fun match. It's always fun when I have to generate new images for the stream. Let's see. Here we go. We have a Water Lorraine. This is like it feels like a lore matchup. Water Lorraine versus Fire Merlin. Oh, let me just get the card grabber too. There we go. Click players are deciding who goes first. And we need a round timer too. Let me just make sure the time is correct. Ends at 8:55. There we go. Looks like it's all good. Players are correct. Players are right to play. Lorraine is going first. Drawing her 7. Well, let me see if I can keep doing what I was doing in the background. There's a lurking assailant. Oh, so it's probably some version of allies. Just lurking pass. It's all good. Let's see. Center and center. Okay, I finished the other screen. I guess you guys will see it in a second after this match. But let's go back to, I guess, actually commentating this match. Looks like Merlin just played a creative shock, sent a floating and played a Stalwart Shieldmate. Stalwart Shieldmate is obviously very good in this against this matchup because you can block the Icebound Slam. Not very good when there's a Lurking Assailant in the field though. Very likely, I mean, if this game is going optimally for Lorraine, you just clear the Taunter and then Icebound Slam just to get your floating memory. Wait, the timer is broken. Oh wait. There you go. It's too many tabs, too many, and not enough screens. It's all good. Oh, I actually don't recognize that card. It looks like a. It just looks like a normal floating memory ally. Maybe that's a VTuber art actually. Wait, oh, wait, why did you break it? There we go. That's my bad. Oh, it's a trade chat. Thanks to the players. The trained sharpshooter from supporter pack 2. Players listening in on the stream. So it's just a 3 cost 2/3. It's a classic classic allies card. Just, if it's 3 cost and it has 2/3 of stats, sure, just put it in. Next set, we're seeing a couple more cards like this. We're seeing the Sword Saint, which is probably really good in this deck. I mean, actually, maybe not, since he's allies, he's not really playing for Icebound, so it's not that easy to get Sword Saint's attack boost online. But it looks like it's just a pass, denying the floating memory from Lorraine. For another Stalwart Shieldmate, I guess maybe at this point you probably just start hitting, because, I mean, already has a 1 floating memory engrave. It's very easy to just pitch something to get another one. And Scry the Skies. Has 2 in hand. You can't really get reprogrammed, so I mean, I think you just bite the bullet and start trading into these Stalwart Shieldmates. Bottom that, draw a card. And pass turn. What a player casts a repro. Huh, reprogram in allies. I guess you don't really have many options for fast floaters. Oh, and Illumina. That's really good. So this might actually be a slower pace deck than it seems. I mean, obviously it's water allies, so it's going to be slower by default. Yeah, start trading into Stalwart Shieldmates. You have to start clearing those out. It really feels bad because now Merlin gets a free level up and they eat the other floating memory. Yeah, it's killed us. Okay, now I'm slightly more confident that maybe they're just showing each other the cards and not just the stream. Okay, so killed us with balance. It's a lot of damage. Especially considering the follow-up Lumina triggers. Just the 4 damage is extremely relevant. If he gets 8 damage out of the Lumina, it's also extremely good. Basically, almost cut your opponent's health in half. Goes into Merlin 2. Banishing the Flame Rune Sword. Again, I'm wondering if banishing Norm cards is going to become something that you have to think of for your effects. I mean, if anything, probably Merlin is a deck that cares mostly about it, since you run more higher density of different colored, or different element, I should say, floating memories. Let's see what's at play. Merlin player looks like 6 or 7 influence. And just pass. I mean, just pass is perfectly fine. You're you have your mage class bonus, you could probably just hold up interaction, just react to what your opponent is doing. They've already shown you that, yeah, materializes GCR. Your opponent has already shown you they're gonna play a slower game anyways. Swings in with one. Swings with another. Then I'm probably gonna try and get balance before swinging with the... Ooh, Frostsworn. Not bad. Again, Frostsworn by default is also another 3 cost 2/3, so it's really not super bad to just cast it for its base stats. Okay, looks like we see a response from Merlin. Sparkle Light with class bonus, so it's killing anything. And it can't be prevented. Very likely going on Gildas. Ooh, he's popping... He's popping the GCR to see if he draws it out. Doesn't, Gildas dies. And Merlin goes to 10. And we very likely see a pass. Unless the draw from the GCR was good. Yeah, it's a pass. So yeah, not the most eventful turn. But it sets up... Oh, he's hitting his own floating memory, it seems. I mean, not the most eventful turn. You still have this Lumina on field that's going to be dealing you a ton of damage, and Merlin doesn't really run recovery, so... this game is very... It's not a guarantee. Like, it's a very... Okay, Tariff... Yeah, it's a very rough game for Merlin. The water player can just kill you passively by leveling up almost at this point. Okay, looks like we see pre-Rico action. Nope. Oh yeah. We see a fireball. Huh. Very early fireball. Looks like the water player has a response. Nope, fireball goes through. Just to end hits face. It is possible. I mean, he's at spirit, his life total is really low. Maybe the Merlin player recognizing that the play is just to abuse the fact that he can't really level up that much in the following turns, so maybe you can just burst him down. The influence is looking very low though. More than thinking about their turn. You know, with low influence, you have a Tariff Ring on the board. There's not really much you can do here. Maybe, but considering if he DGs to start getting his engine going. I mean, your influence is going to be super low, but you have access to your Crux cards, you have access to your Merlin engine. Maybe it's worth it. You also need to get your life total a little bit healthier. Let's see. 3 cards for a... Ooh, Innervid Fury. Huh. I mean, it's really good into this war. Recover 5. And you deal 7 damage. It's not enough to kill everything, it's enough to kill 2 things, which is pretty good paired with the recover 5. Looks like water player might have a response. The Merlin obviously just... Okay, he kills the normal allies, that's fine. Merlin obviously still has to... De-leveling your champion and recovering health is a cost in an Innervate Fury, so that is always going to happen. If the water player had a way to stop the board wipe, it would have been a huge blowout for the Merlin. But it looks like we don't see it. That said, the life total is slightly lower now. Okay, goes into Lorraine. Banishes a Frostsworn. Takes 4 damage from the Scepter of Lumina. Picks up an Ornamental Greatsword, giving the Frostsworn attack. Scepter triggers. So he has 4 damage on board at the moment. Okay, pre-reco Merlin pops Tariff, that's wise. Kind of feels bad to pop Tariff on a board this small, but kind of have to. You don't know what he's holding in his hand. With 4 damage on board, you're at 13. You never know. You might just get take 7 from nowhere. The influence is kind of low for it though. We'll see. Pace 2. To declare attack with the Frostsworn. So he doesn't lose, so he utilizes his Ornamental Greatsword buff. And passes turn. Merlin GCRs. We've seen a lot of Merlins just play from behind this event. It's very interesting. Oh, it's interesting how this deck could tank so much pressure essentially. I mean, it feels like you're always playing from behind, but when you get to level 3, your engine is just so strong. You just spiral the game out of control. Even through this Innervate Fury, you might just make it actually. So that's the pitch. Oh, 4 cost? Is it no, it can't be a fractal because it doesn't have class bonus. Is it just a pass? It's 7 influence pass. Lorraine player probably thinking if he levels up. If you level up here, it's a lot of damage, right? Takes 4 from the Lumina, then takes a lot of damage from your attack and your Froststorm. Might just be enough. Because like Merlin has a lot of cards in hand, but I mean they can full cast a Resolute Stand, I guess. A Drawn Blade. $50-50. Loses the Shimmer Cloak Assassin, I believe. Another SP2 art, if I'm not mistaken. Players just thinking this is I mean Water, one of these players isn't the mage, but Water basically plays like mage all the time, so both these players just thinking a lot about what plays they need to do. Have a lot of fast speed interaction. This is the final round as well. It's a very tense back and forth. Attacks with Frostsworn. Let's see if we see a response. Maybe Spark of Light from another Spark of Light from Merlin, maybe. For 4 cost of 4. Oh, because he doesn't have a class bonus, true. Does it kill though? Oh, because he retains a level counter from his previous, yeah, from when he was Merlin. It's interesting. It is smart to just. He was thinking about doing it on his in main turn or main phase last turn. I think it's just smart to always do it in your at fast speed, right? Because you might not have to do it, and then you just keep your retain your influence. Oh, it's a. Is it a Kahasi Trapper? Wow. Man, I'm not learned enough in these SP2 cards. I always play with the lowest rarity commons I can find. Ooh, Dungeon Guide. Dungeon Guide incredibly good in water decks, obviously, because it's essentially a 5 damage spell. Yeah, Frostbind and a... It's not an Imperial Recruit, it's an Esteemed Knight, I believe. Level up, now you're taking 5. And game's over. Okay, because it's just over. Oh, because he has the buff. Yeah, true. It just has the buff from Rain 2, so it just hits you in the face for 3 with any sword. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't feel like there was much Merlin could have done in that situation. The game was basically on lock, even with your removal. I'm wondering if this... I wonder how this fares for the performance of Innervate Fury in this deck. Like the 2-for-1 felt really good, but not being able to fully clear the board, that's not a really super good scenario. Maybe the damage just isn't enough. Like de-leveling your champion and recovering 4, dealing 7 damage. Specifically against these decks that just spam 3 cost 2 3s. It's not a very clean trade. But let's see what these players side out. We also know from the previous match that Merlin's deck is very teched, I would say, against slimes, with the main deck Blanchies, and even the Sparkle Lights are very slime centric. So we might see a couple of cuts from that. Blanchie isn't really that bad. You can use Blanchie to stop the Lumina damage, for example. But she's not really pulling her weight as much as she does against slimes. There's also the important note that Merlin just famously doesn't do very well against counterspells. I mean, these are still soft counterspells with Frostbind and probably Cerulean Decree. You can normally have enough influence that you can just pay for them, but if the water player sides in a couple of incaps, it could be a lot harder for Merlin. You can't really Incarnate Majesty, your fireballs lose a lot of value. It looks like he's making the water player go first. I like this play. I normally like... I believe sending control players first is a good call, because you want to limit their options in hand and the amount of interaction they might have. Plus, since you know the game's going along, you kind of want to have that extra card yourself. Let's see, three memory. Pass for another trained sharpshooter. Not the most ideal turn 1 play. You probably always want to start with a lurking assailant because it has evasion. Trained sharpshooter is just a vanilla 2/3 essentially. Merlin draws their hand. Puts you down for a hasty. Really good opener. Attacks for 1. Let's see what they pitch. Players also resolving the damage before resolving the discard the on attack trigger from Hasty. One of the most common mistakes people do in this game. Discards a floating memory, which is obviously always good. Your Hasty just went +1 basically. And he plays another Hasty. Attacks it for 1. Players resolving the damage before the Hasty trigger again. Discards another floating memory, so just went +1 again. Strong turn from Merlin. Aside from probably doing your 2 costs into Cremation Ritual, this is probably one of the strongest turns you can get. Or a player making a backup charger, drawing a card into memory, making a power cell token, and then recollecting. Swings in for 2 at face. Plays a Snow Fairy, that explains why he's swinging faced. Hasty is now stunned as long as Snow Fairy is on the field. And then another Snow Fairy, okay, that perfectly explains why he's not trading with the Hasties. And then gets in for 2. For all the cards we've seen, we've surprisingly not seen a supporter pack 1 Snow Fairy to complete all this bling out package. Water player levels up. Merlin levels up. They have plenty of floating memory, which, now that they have Hasties stunned, they're kind of looking for their cremations. Just at least gets a bit of value out of these Hasties. They can always just remove the Snow Fairies at the opponent's end step. Let's see, for 3 costs, they're playing maybe a Flame Roof. Oh, looks like they changed their mind. Another slight mistake in sequencing that players normally do is that, according to the rules, you're supposed to put the card that you intend to activate on the board first, and then you pay their costs. But yeah, it's Flame Rune Swordsman. But, intuitively, just no one does that, because it just makes more sense to put your cards down, and then just pay for your things, and then play your card. Passes the turn with 3 influence, 2 sad Hasty Messengers, and a tapped Flame Rune Swordsman to board. Water player makes a GCR. Again, this game is going very slowly, so they have time to just do this. Asking how many floating memories they have in grave. Only a single Honorable Vanguard. Playing a Sea Sprite Diver to get rid of that Honorable Vanguard. Diver, a fairly good card. It's less optimal in this circumstance because it's a 4 cost 2/3 as opposed to being a 3 cost 2/3 if your opponent has 4 or more cards in grave, but still pretty good. Slowing the game down, keeping your opponent's influence in check. I wonder if maybe trading... no, I guess it doesn't make sense. Ooh, gets rid of a Gentle Respite and a Fireball. The Gentle Respite kind of highly implies that the Merlin player doesn't run a Cremation Ritual, which is very, very bad in this situation because, your Hasties are just permanently stunned on the field unless you use a removal spell to get rid of the Snow Fairy. So either way, you're gonna have to allocate more resources to getting these Snow Fairies out of the field. Just bad times all around. I do believe that we've seen Flame Sweep from the Merlin player though, so that could easily get rid of these Snow Fairies and basically unblock your board. It's also obviously insanely good against allies, just whenever possible. If you Flame Sweep their board, you kill 3 creatures, you go +2. It's just really good. Water player trying to be also being sneaky by keeping a GCR and 2 cards in hand. It's like, I totally don't have a Frostbind in my hand. Let's see, Merlin player now in their main phase. They tap Merlin to eat a floating memory just before the water player has time to do anything, just to make sure they get their level counter. Now they're just thinking. It's a complex situation to navigate right now. You're getting hit for 4 every turn. It's a fairly fast clock. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see a hard pass here. Maybe he's holding a creative. Creative is really good in this scenario because you can get rid of one of the Snow Fairies. Looks like he is playing something in his main phase though, and it is another Flame Rune Swordsman. Not super ideal because it doesn't really trade well with the board. Oh, it looks like the water player is responding, maybe doing the Frostbind play. Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst outcome for Merlin. You lose your flame sword, your flame rune, but I mean you reduce your opponent's influence by 1. It should be fine. The board is, I mean, the flame rune wasn't gonna be the thing that solves your problems, honestly. Water player hard paying for a Scepter of Lumina. Banishing a Fracturize. Yeah, now you're just taking your scheduled 4 damage. Taking you to 10. Scepter of Lumina is very scary right now. Since you're taking this passive damage, you can't be struggling to find a way to out this board. And Lurking Assailant. I'm assuming this Lurking just also hits face. I mean, you just have to keep putting the pressure. Yeah. Scepter is extremely scary now. You can basically just passively level up and just kill your opponent. GCR in pre-reco. 5 influence, 6 influence. It's not looking super good. Maybe just empty DG. Let's see. Dungeon Guide. Yeah, I think this is probably the play. You just full send Dungeon Guide. Keep the first one. Pitch 2 Crux Sites. Not the worst. Especially depending on what he has in his hand. If he has an Ascension to go for a Prismatic, you can get rid of one of these beaters, reduce a lot of damage. Let's see. DG gets in for 1. Face. Yeah. Ooh, Scredus. Oof, that's not super good. I mean, it's gonna look very deep, but if you're still trying to find an out at this point in the game, it's just not looking very good. Scredus is going to scry 4, or glimpse 4, I should say. Put a card from top into memory. And Merlin is playing with 3 influence. They're going to 5 influence next turn. It's looking hard. This is maybe a hard dig for a Flame Sweep to try and out this board. But you might just be dead, actually. Using a Korhazi Trapper, or I mean, paying with a Korhazi Trapper for the level up, taking 4. Snow Fairy gains attack from the Ornamental Sword. So he has to deal 12 damage to Merlin. He has 6 damage on board. 20, 21, 23, 24 with the weapon. So he needs to pull 4 damage from somewhere. He could just Dungeon Guide. Yeah, it's over. So yeah, that's it. I mean, water, not in the best place right now, but turning your Dungeon Guide into a 3-cost level up, deal 5 damage is pretty strong. So yeah, game set for water, Lorraine. It's interesting. And it's a very super strong showing from I guess I'm gonna transition screens. Super strong showing from this deck. Merlin, oddly enough, going very well into slimes, but losing to this, I would say, more rogue matchup. Wait, I can use this fancy text that I made. There we go. Wins. Oh, whoops. What was the name of? I have to go back to the other. Jixie. It's this one. It's a feature match with Water Cross. Right. Next up, final standings. There we go. Now we have a little bit of a fancier graphic going on. So yeah, very strong showing from the water deck. And just Lumina killing your passive. It almost feels wrong to say that the water is a weak element. You have Lumina killing you passively. You have these disruptive spells. It just feels like if you establish a board and you can just keep holding that board, killing your opponent passively, poking them for 2, 3, 4 damage, and then bursting them now with Lumina. It's just very strong. You have counter spells to deal with these mage matchups. You have the Snow Fairies to deal with slimes. I'd love to have seen the rest of the matchups though, because I wonder if he played against more slimes. Because I'm not sure. I'm unsure if the deck has a good matchup against slimes. I'm assuming that against slimes you just play Rushdown, Ally Beatdown basically. Just play all your 2/3s, hit him, keep hitting them in the face repeatedly till the game's over. It's interesting. It's an interesting deck, strong showing. I'm also wondering if he has Crystal and Longsword, but maybe not. Maybe it's just too slow in this version of the deck. Since you're not running, it's not very control focused. Obviously, it's more mid range with your allies and yours. Even the counter spells might feel kind of weird in this deck, honestly. But yeah, so that's my take, I guess. We're gonna go to an intermission and then we'll come back real quick for final standings. But yeah, I think that's gonna be mostly it from the stream. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for the regionals, for the actual big event. I mean, these events are always good, obviously. We love to have players play in these. We had a lot of players today. And yeah, I hope we have players every week. I hope people are playing Grand Archive. I hope people are having fun, even if I mean, even if Slimes is prevalent, but we didn't see a very strong case for Slimes this event, I would say. I think people are getting used to it. People are starting to play around it. It's pretty good. So yeah, I'll be back later with final standings just to give you guys a little bit of a closing. And then we'll see you guys tomorrow. Right? See ya. once again, everyone, thank you for watching. Oh, that's it. Whoops. Spoiler. We have our final standings. Jixie with the Water in Soul deck taking in first place. There we go. Jixie with the Water in Soul deck that we saw in last round taking first place. Kize with Serene Nico, which we didn't see on stream, unfortunately. And Toby, which I've heard was also playing Merlin. Then we have Reiko, who's also on Merlin, and Trunky, which I believe was also on Merlin, so very interesting standings. No slimes in the top 5. We saw a Water Lorraine take it all. Very interesting. It's always interesting that XCC had locals at this level. So yeah, again, thank you all for watching, thank you all for playing. Hope to see you tomorrow in the regionals, when we're having an even bigger stream. And I hope to see you guys playing on Sunday next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. So yeah, thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll leave you with this, and that's bye from me. See you.